and welcome to another edition of the 15-ish Minute Coffee Chat Summer Edition. I'm Anna Larson, owner of Nomad About.
I am Selena Conmackie of How Oli Socially Inspired, and we are your hosts, and we are thrilled to have you here.
Yes, we are. In fact, today it's just Selena and I bringing you our favorite tips, tricks, and stories from our entrepreneurial journey as being small business owners.
Yeah, no guests, no pressures, just us sharing Anna and Selena. And
So if you're familiar with the 15-ish Minute Coffee Chat, go grab your cup of coffee, kick back, hang out with us for a few minutes, and let's dive into some of this week's chat. Well, first of all, two things, right? Like that, there's a timer on here, so I'm going to start that.
Yeah, it would be so us to start it like halfway through,
right? So we got a 10-minute timer because we're keeping this short. But secondary to that is, we're excited to have a conversation. What are we talking about today, Selena?
So, we laughed when Anna and I prepped, and I was like, we came up with questions that we figured, again, this is like a very casual talk, but real talk, right? About entrepreneurs. So today's question for each other is, what does scale even mean?
Right.
I'm going to be very honest. I literally was so confused by that word. I was like, I know, honestly, in business sense, I didn't understand what that meant. I was like, does that mean stop? You're going to scale? Okay, you're going to go up. I just didn't know how to define the word. And so I never used it because I was not confident in the way that I was using it in a business sense.
Well, I think it became kind of a buzzword and people were using it to mean many, many different things, right? So when you really look into the definition, because I'm a researcher, right? So that's kind of what I do. When you look into the definition, scaling and growing, which people use interchangeably, are actually different than each other.
Yeah.
Where growth is really focused on revenue building and growing your business. Scaling is more like adding on features, optimizing, being able to do more with what you currently have.
Right.
Would you think like that?
No, I was like, wait, is scale grow? Is grow scale? Honestly. So, okay, I did look, I have a definition here. According to Google, scaling a business means setting the stage to enable and support growth in your company.
Okay. Yes. So sort of like what I said, right? Optimizing what you have, getting ready for that next step.
Right. If you're going to grow, okay, I'm going to purchase this item because I can. I'm not using all of it, but I know when I'm ready to support that growth in what I want to do.
Yes.
Right. So,
I think so.
I'm kind of curious, does everybody use that word scale? Does everybody understand the word scale? Because it is everywhere. You see it everywhere. Are you scaling your business? And you can pretend like Selena and be like, yeah.
I know what I'm talking about right now.
Yeah. No.
Well, I think there's some important things you have to think about, right? So if you're talking about scaling, you really have to be able to have a good look at what your business is, where it currently is, right? Mm-hmm. So you have to really be able to stop, take a step back and say, here's reality for where I'm at now, where I'm lacking, what is going awesome, what I do great, where are the holes, right? And it's not just one piece or part. It's literally in every facet of your business.
Yeah. No. Agreed. And I think, I think about my 2017-year-old self when I sent my very first invoice as a contractor. And I don't think I would have ever thought that I would have scaled my business to where it is today, So I don't know. It's an interesting word.
Well, what's funny too about the word, not just the word scale, but the process of scaling is it's not something that just happens once.
Yeah.
I think this is something that you do in increments. So you scale, get ready for the growth, and then maybe you see some growth.
Yeah.
And then you have to stop and reevaluate what you have, where you're at, what your technology is, what your business plan looks like, what your strategies look like, what does your marketing plan look like, right? And then you reevaluate, reset,
Yeah.
and do the process again, over and over and over again. And not that I think it's a big deal if you use the word grow or scale, right? Like, I don't think it really matters ultimately. I think the bigger deal is, what are you actually doing within your business to make that happen for you?
Right. Well, it's interesting though. When I like read this definition, my brain goes like this. Okay, I'm setting the stage is what scaling means. Setting the
Yeah.
stage to do the growing. And when the growing happens, I've already should have been scaling it. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, and I guess like, I don't know, I guess like one of the things that I can think of is like when I was able to hire my team, and I did it because I knew we were taking on clients. I knew that I wanted to set it up before we got crazy than trying to train or help whatever during the craziness. Cause Anna, we've talked about this so many times, right? Like, trying to help a new person in your team during your crazy time is just like an additional bandwidth that you just don't have.
Yeah.
So then you don't do it.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that's a great example of scaling, right? Is adding a team member or training team members in different ways might be another one. I think another one you mentioned earlier was like technology. So making sure your tech stack looks good. You have your CRM you like, you have your project management systems you like, you've got your email management system that you like, right? Like having all of that set and understanding with growth, will these same tech things handle what I have?
Yeah. No, yeah. It's funny though. Like, I guess the first thing you should when you're running your business, sometimes like I always envy the ones that like take the time to really evaluate their business and like look at it and go, yeah, this is where I'm going to go. I feel like sometimes I'm just running, you know what I mean? And the planning, but I think that's like when you run your own business, that's the whole thing, right? Like, yes, you can hire people to help you do all these things, but at the end of the day, you're like, you're the decision maker. You're the one that like is doing all the scale thinking.
Yeah.
And you have to make the decisions.
Yeah.
A little like over. No, I'm just kidding. I do remember times where I was overwhelmed by it, and I think.
Well, I think the idea of growth can sometimes be a little bit scary, right? And scaling is the precursor.
Yeah.
So when you are getting ready to send now 1,000 emails instead of just the 100 you might normally do, and knowing the impact of what that could potentially bring to your company, your business, there is some fear factor associated with that. Like, am I ready to do that? Especially as a small business owner or a solopreneur, right? If you don't have a team in place, if you don't have, maybe if you know you want that growth, but you're not quite sure you're there, right? Like that you've got it already.
Yes. No. So I'm kind of curious, anybody listening to the podcast or watching this on our pre-recorded live stream, do you know what the word scale means? And are you even doing it? Are you prepping to scale? Do you feel your business is in a scale position?
Yeah.
And I love, like, right, scaling is not just one time. It's multiple times in your business's like lifespan, right? Like, I mean, scaling even to like sell your business.
Yeah. I feel like the summer, at least for service, my service-based business, I feel like the summer is a good time for that scaling review.
Planning.
Yeah, kind of that planning time frame, right? I mean, I run a business so that I can spend more time with my kids, so that I can do, and summer is when a lot of that stuff happens. So it's where I can back off a little bit on that big stuff and do a little bit more of the planning, prepping for that hard hit in the fall again,
I think this is why we started the summer edition series, right? It's just to have these conversations. I get nervous with summer because I know I'm out of the office more, and my life is changing because of the business I want to run so I can be with my family, right? My kid is on summer break. My husband is now retired. You know what I mean? There's all these like factors that are so different. And so it's like, I you know what? Maybe it is. Maybe today you have just heard Anna announce that we are going to make a summer plan to always talk about scaling.
Yes.
So, all right. I mean, we hit our 39 seconds here. So, we appreciate you all coming to listen to today's scaling fiasco of discussion.
Throw in your comments. We want to know, what do you think? I mean, are you like, I totally know what scaling is. You guys are ridiculous, right? Or I got a big plan for it, because everything I see says there is no like, do
Right.
these 5 steps to scale your business, right? There's really nothing out there like that, because it is so individualized.
Yeah.
So,
you're like, phew, I'm not the only one that doesn't technically understand what scale means. So
exactly.
We are together, guys, fellow entrepreneurs. All right, Anna, thanks again for a wonderful episode. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.